Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the loser of this race would have a time like a 1:14:30 or something crazy like that. And in a race, that's a really, really good time. Yeah, starting off is the climb. I'm definitely interested. I know Mike's climb, but I haven't seen Sci-Fi run in a while. He's been doing a lot of practice offline lately, but not too many streaming live attempts.
Yeah, sci-fi good runner, and I have it on good authority that our runners are off, so we'll be catching up with the stream delay in just a second here. I'll switch us over to the race layout.
Awesome. I'm really excited because besides Scotty, Sci-Fi is the only person to ever land a double wave core in a race. I don't think he's done it in the tournament, but I've seen him do it in our weekly races, so I'm kind of excited to see that. That'll
I
be,
know we've seen him go for it. I don't think he got it.
yeah,
Or
I don't
no,
think
he
he's.
was teasing that he was going for it.
Oh, okay. It is a little risky because that core that takes a lot of damage, or gives off a lot of damage.
Also, welcome to everyone coming in from Zosie's stream. Coming in at just a good time as we're about to get underway with this Metroid Fusion Any % race.
Perfect timing with the raid with those.
And we are in our lower bracket here, so this is elimination on the line. We're in top 8. Winner of this match goes on to face Destructor in losers quarters.
Ooh, that'll be.
And the loser's out.
Look at this
And
perfect
just like
sync
that,
start.
we are off.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what we like to see.
Here we go with the climb. I going for the difficult climb and nailing it. Sci-Fi with a little bit of trouble. Still feeling the more technical room of the beginning of the run. But yeah, as you said, Autumn, this will be elimination for whoever loses this race. Mike Food being a top, I think he's second place in 100% and any percent and zero mission, but notoriously not a huge fan of Metroid Fusion. Everybody has their preferences. I love Metroid Fusion personally, but the GBA Metroid skill definitely carries over as we see his movement's going to be super tight. He might not be as good with maybe the bosses or kind of the things that you get better over time with, but the movement's going to be very tight.
Oh, absolutely. And still no slouch when it comes to Fusion.
Definitely.
Don't know a lot of runners who can go play one of their off games and still come in as someone who can pull some really good race times off.
Yeah, it took me, what, about 2 years to get a 114? Took him, like, a few weeks, essentially. Maybe about a month total, I'd say, because he does take his breaks. But
I'll let you know how long it takes me in about 3 years when I finally get there.
to be fair, I play a lot of 80%, though. You're more of a rando beast. I am nothing at rando compared to any percent. Both had their skills.
Yeah, of course, with this being any %, we know our runners are going to go up here and get their missiles, and looks like Mike with a 1 line of text lead here.
Wow, yep.
Going up the elevator. And honestly, this might be synced up because with the slight, like, tenths of a second delay between the two runners, this is a really close race.
Yeah, it looked like everything was tight here. I'll note here in a second. 146. Yeah, that was a very good. I would call that a very good missile split for both runners there. Hitting that pad around like 246. It's definitely not too shabby.
Yeah, and one thing to know for anyone not super familiar with Metroid Fusion, one of the big factors in the race is going to be RNG. Anytime we get to a boss, the Idor can shoot between 0 and 4 beams. The first couple of them, we need to get 3 hits on them. After that, we'll only need to get 1. And it costs you about 3 seconds every time you get a beam. And let's hope for our runner's sake that no one gets the luck a recent racer got, getting 25 beams over the course of the run. You normally expect to see about 12.
That was just me and my skills of RNG. Just that was all me, not FPiz. That was insane though. That was a perfect example of how brutal Fusion can be. Showing, I think I had 5 beams total, and FPiz had 25. Average
That
usually
is
being about
correct.
11.
And Mike, the first one through the door.
Yeah,
Sci-fi
hitting the
not
double.
far behind. And we're gonna go up to our first boss fight. Let's see if our runners are gonna do the traditional Arachnus fight where you shoot it from in front, or if we're gonna shoot it through the shell.
It's like,
Mike already getting a roll. I hate to see it.
yeah,
Ideally,
you
you
just
don't
did.
want to see Arachnus roll at all.
At least he didn't get the double, but Sci-Fi also getting a roll. Oh, Sci-Fi with the 2 rolls though, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, oh, missing a double here, so gonna have to take the 3rd shot.
That was unfortunate. He only had 1 missile, or 0 missiles actually, because he used his missile for the 1st shot, and that green X kind of trolled him a little bit. If he was able to grab that green X, he probably would have gotten a much faster core fight there. Unfortunate for Sci-Fi.
Yeah, that
At least,
said,
yeah. At least he didn't get the fabled all yellows. That's the worst possible scenario when you run out of missiles and get no missile drops from Arachnus.
oh yeah, and getting health bombed, I think that's something that every Metroid series runner has run into in your game of choice.
No fun.
And now on to our 3rd time talking to Adam. We will have to talk to this guy a number of times throughout the run. Mike opting to go for safety, picking up a missile pack on the way into Sector 1. Optimally, that missile is not chosen and we get a faster one later in the run. We're going to be looking to have 45 missiles eventually as the fastest route. Sector 1 is all about missile management, and running out costs a lot of time. We'll see if that costs Sci-Fi, as he has opted to skip that missile pack.
Yeah, that missile essentially loses 1 second, which is quotation marks free time save, as some people like to say. But yeah, just grabbing that. I personally, in a race, especially a tournament race, would grab it myself because it just gives you like a layer of comfort as well. Like mentally, you're like, okay, I have 25, almost certainly not going to run out of missiles, even with, even if I get hit, stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, for anyone who is even newer to the game, you want to be picking up that until you're getting through Sector 1 almost every time without running out. I think it wasn't until I got my time under 120 that I really stopped picking that one up before going into Sector 1. The name of the game here in Sector 1 is going to be Safe Play. We're going to have to go wipe out 5 things that are destroying atmospheric stabilizers, and those are going to take 3 missiles each. What we want to do is keep our health full, and that makes it so that every drop is a guaranteed green X drop that'll give us 2 missiles back. If runners take damage, then it's about a 20% shot of getting a missile drop and 80% to get a health drop, so...
Yeah, guaranteed you have to have at least 3 missiles for the last eye door, so you have to have at least 3 at the end of Sector... Well, not the end of Sector 1, but before you pick up charge and get the red X from the eye door.
Yeah, Mike taking a hit in the Hornode room, so is Sci-Fi, so these two are going to be going into a risky situation. Actually, the same missile count between them.
15 each. There's a pretty tough strat here where you can refill on the pirates. Looks like Mike didn't go for it. It's a pretty tough strat. Personally, I think it's like I can't get it at the time either. Sci-Fi going for it and gets rewarded. I think that was 2 green X that he picked up. Might have just been 1.
Yeah, either way, 1 yellow X and Sci-Fi will be golden. Also, every time you kill a stabilizer, that is a guaranteed green X drop if you can get it.
Yep.
Sci-Fi back to full health, so gonna be in much better shape than Mike is being down to 3 missiles. He's gonna need to use missiles in the next room to take out some space pirates, which are immune to the beam. So
if he gets 2 yellows here, that's going to be a bummer from the first pirate.
And the game
We'll
bailing
see.
him out with a double green there.
There we go. Yeah, he was at 99, so he got the 2 green, but that was almost scary. But and that's funny because Mike got the extra 5 missiles there, but a little bit of a sketchy sector 1.
Yeah, good reaction from Sci-Fi. The pirate trolling, jumping across, reacting very well.
Yeah, that room can
Mike,
definitely troll you at times.
Mike going for the double, not getting it, but in first to the charge core.
Not punished.
Of course, would it be a Metroid game if we didn't have a fake Chozo statue? And Mike swinging by in and out, picking up the double for us.
Very nice. Making up for not getting the double in the eye door. He got 0 beams though, so that was a really good charge time actually from mikefood. I'd say that was exactly kind of time he would want to get.
Oh, definitely. Anything in the mid-9s is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it looks like Sci-Fi is about 10 seconds behind, so still very close here.
Yeah, and there is a lot of game left for these runners, as we can be expecting to see probably somewhere around a 114, 115 finish time from these guys.
Yeah, I think Sci-Fi recently got a PB. I say recently, I think it was about a month ago, but he managed to break the 113 barrier. So that's definitely elite category there.
I think when I started running this game, we had like 5 people with a 113, and now it feels like everybody's putting them up.
Oh yeah, Shade today got one. Just today we had a new 113 runner. Maybe one of these days I'll get there. It's very tough. It's very tough to get that good of a time. Only what, like, well, now 3 minutes from world record. It used to be 2.
Yeah, the 110 finally happened. Our runner's gonna make their way out of Sector 1.
There was a funny conversation I overheard with Monkey and Scotty where Monkey's like, do you think I can get record? And Scotty's like, maybe, but I'm not going to let you. Scotty with the coveted. He's had that world record for such a long time. I don't think he wants to give it up just yet.
Speaking of Scotty and Monkey, while we're in a slow spot in the run here, just going through some text scenes, Scotty versus Monkey, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on this upcoming Sunday. That'll be our winners finals matchup.
Very excited for that race. That one's going to be top tier Metroid Fusion right there.
Unfortunately, both of us in the booth gonna have to catch the VOD on that one.
I know on a Sunday. It's a bummer, but yeah, Monkey has improved significantly since this tournament kind of got announced. I remember I was the one who kind of told him randomly, and he was like, oh, and then immediately started grinding Fusion again, which is awesome. Awesome to see.
Monkey has been labbing out a ton of strats. You love to see it, and I believe he's put up the fastest time we've seen so far in this tournament.
Yep. You got that PB, which is not even his PB anymore, but he got the 111 a few weeks ago. Alright, so we have the charge beam, so we definitely have a massive upgrade to our how much damage we deal instead of relying on doubles on the charge core, or the eye doors. We can kill him in one hit with a fully charged charge beam with the swipe underneath it, the flare, excuse me. So we're going to see that helping us out throughout the entire run from now on. Charge beam is the most important kind of way of damage that we have in Metroid Fusion.
Absolutely, and the charge beam has a little bit of an interesting property. Ooh, Mike taking a hit from the Zoro there. And everything in Sector 2 hits like a truck. This is where casual players start to see, hey, this game is a bit hard. But the charge beam, unlike in other Metroid games, actually is going to give us a second particle to our beam. As well as there is a melee damage from the flare that shoots out from the charge beam. Each particle does 10 damage, the flare does 6. And there will be a lot of places where we'll be doing setups to try to get all 3 of those hits in.
Yeah, a lot of key boss fights where it's very important that you hit the boss with the entire charge beam. Yeah, I was going to note that Sci-Fi some really solid movement in that big room, but also getting hit by the Zoro. So that one's a tough little double to get. It's always frustrating when you get hit Especially like you said, those Zoras do a lot of damage, and even as a speedrunner, you can definitely still die if you get hit by enough of them.
Oh, absolutely. In that room, you can't just go with completely prepared timing because both Zoros have the ability to be going left or right in there. You get used to it, but you still have to react to it pretty quick to know what timing to use.
Just not enough time to charge that, no matter which way they go, left or right. Both they're not far enough away where you can hit it with a charge shot, so you have to time those missiles out in a reactionary kind of way.
Yeah, Mike with very clean movement here also got the door fix going into this room like some other Metroid games. We will have runners at times. They will be jumping through doors to be at a different height to change the amount of time the door spends scrolling. It's a balance between that and the fact that Samus moves at half speed in the air. So in general, you want to be on the ground at all times, but sometimes jumping through the door saves some frames. Sometimes it loses frames.
Yeah. And a lot of times with door fixes, you'll see we'll be setting up the room to maybe go into morph ball or jump over a ledge, stuff like that, to kind of keep Samus grounded, because Samus moves fastest in Metroid Fusion when she's on the ground. So a lot of door fixes will also have that. Even the door fix Mike is about to do here, he'll have a charge beam charged up. And never mind, he didn't do the door fix. Just kidding, just kidding. I wonder if he even knows that door fix exists. Because that's
I
a
know
good
it
one.
feels like every race that I watch, I find a new door fix that I didn't know about.
Same, honestly, same, and I should know them, but there's quite a
Mike
few.
opting, and Mike opting for safety, picking up the Zazabi E-Tank. I like the call in a race.
Same. I think for E-Tanks, you're just most likely not going to die. There's always going to be nerves, so, I mean, maybe things might go not differently as you would in a regular race or even a PB attempt. But
It's
that
time
extra E-Tank's important, for sure.
Now time to pray to RNGesus because we have Zazabi here.
Oh, yeah.
Each time this thing jumps up, you have to wait for it to go into a pattern where it opens its mouth, in which you have to hit it with 2 hits. We'll see runners shoot a charge beam and a missile, that way in case one of the particles of the charge beam misses. You can get between 5 and 12 jumps on this. The fewer the better.
3 and 12, actually. 3 is just so rare. But yeah, 3 to 12, and it's a big difference, and especially the fact there's a freaking eye door in front of it as well. The split can definitely have varieties in times, depending on your RNG.
And of course, you always get the best RNG when you're on a bad run.
Of course. I haven't seen a 3 jump from anybody in forever. It's such a low chance, but maybe one of these days. I think I've gotten 1. It's just been forever since I've seen it, though.
And both of our runners through this, very good times, getting through in the mid-16 range. And now we're going to see our first SAX. Anyone who's played Super Metroid, you might think this looks a lot like the guy you control in that game.
I'm pretty sure Mike is going to gain 6 seconds on Sci-Fi here. Going for sack skip, landing it. Very well done. Sci-Fi, from what I recall, doesn't go for sack skip. Maybe he does now, though. Okay, he's just trolling me.
Yeah, I like the play to not go for it in a race. It only costs you 6 seconds. When you're going for a PB, you want to go for that. But in a race, if you're not 100% sure, you're basically dead if you fail it, and then you've given your opponent 17 minutes, and you're not making that back up.
17 minutes is going to be pretty difficult, no matter how good you are at this game. Sci-Fi notoriously, he's never really gone for it, but still, as you said, it's only 6 to 7 seconds, and there's plenty of time saved, time lost in the run. Sci-Fi's still with a top time even without it. I think Mike goes for it because, as we mentioned earlier, he has so many hours. He's so good at zero mission, so that kind of input, it's, I guess, not scary to him. It is to me, a lot of people, but he just assumes he's going to get it every single time.
Oh, and Flash getting in the pyramid before I could deny.
You hate to see it. Oh, you hate to see it.
What you love to see here, though, are runners going into Sector 4, the game's resident water level, and home to arguably the best boss in the game.
Oh yeah, Sears is great. Ironically, I really love the movement in Sector 4. There's a lot of really tight, optimized movement in here. But yeah, the snake can be very annoying with its patterns. I won't explain it too much. A lot of you guys probably know, but um, there are troll patterns that you cannot really react to. There are regular patterns that hopefully our runners will get with Sirius, that they'll be able to kill it in 2 cycles quickly. But it just depends on what Sirius wants to do.
Sci-Fi with the nice jump extend there to get over to the platform without having to grab it.
That's why he's so crazy with this, because he plays on keyboard as well. It's just crazy to see top tier movement like this from a keyboard player.
I can't even imagine how you do that.
No. Me too. Every Metroid game I've ever played has always been on a controller, so even though obviously I play on an emulator, I have to use a controller for it. These are pretty cool rooms I really enjoy. We saw the maze room in Sector 2. I call this one the gymnastics room in Sector 4, where you're running, jumping, climbing, rolling, doing everything we do.
Yeah, Sector 4 has some of my favorite movement in the game. It looks like
yeah.
one beam for Mike.
Nice, not too shabby.
And Ceres is one of the cases where we're going to try to get both particles and the charge flare to hit. It has 50 HP, so if we do that twice, then we skip a cycle.
So we were mentioning that earlier. Ceres is one of the biggest time saves in the game, or of any boss in the game. Mike with a very nice pattern there, very fast.
Also 2 doubles in here.
Very
Clearing
well
out Ceres very clean. 21-minute Ceres, we definitely take those.
Missed the sweet spot though, Mike. Come on. It was almost perfect. Yeah, the sweet spot is when you kill the Corex. Kinda in the middle. Sometimes you can kill it to the left or right or whatever, and then you can just pick it up immediately instead of it just kind of wandering slowly to the middle.
Just like Sci-Fi showed off.
Exactly, just like that, yep.
Thank you, Sci-Fi, for giving us a great visual aid here.
Awesome, yep. It's it may seem just like a not like kind of minuscule amount of time, just a second or two, but it adds up.
Oh, Sci-Fi with the low height just to save a little bit of time going there to build up the Shine Spark. Now that we have the speed booster, we can finally go fast.
Very swag. These things are very important to show off the swag strats.
I think Mike is still okay, even though he ran an extra step there. No missiles of shame today.
Yeah, that's always unfortunate when you grab that that missile.
And Mike also getting the low height swag spark out of Sector 4.
Very nice. I wonder if we can get 2 for 2 here. It only saves a few seconds, but it looks really cool, and it's always kind of nice to... It's a fun trick to get.
Yeah, and you have to get it at a very precise position above the ground. Fortunately, unmorphing will stop Samus's vertical momentum, Sci-Fi also pulling it off. So you get a little more time to be able to react to it.
Yeah, I believe it not in Morph Ball, it's frame perfect, like the one at the end of the game. But with Morph, it's a lot more doable, where you just kind of use the little bounce that you get when you're from a certain amount of height, using that to your advantage.
Yeah, saves us time from having to move left.
In races, Sector 4 can really lose runners' time, so it's good to see both of our runners. I think Sci-Fi... Nah, it's still probably about the same. Just both runners with a very, very well done Sector 4 there. Usually it's from Cirrus, though, the time loss.
We've seen 1, 2, and 4, so now we'll go to 3 because Metroid Fusion can count.
That's how math works, right? 1, 2, 4, 3? Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Let's see. Mike was at 23:33 at the transition point, so we'll be able to get a good gauge of how much of a lead he has when Sci-Fi goes down the elevator.
I mentioned that he was going to be learning quick box kill. I don't know if he's gonna, for sure, if he's gonna do it in the race here because it is a little risky. But that'll be cool to see if he goes for it.
Okay, so Sci-Fi about 28 seconds behind here, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Mike strengthened his lead in Sector 2 quite a bit there. I didn't really notice it, but he was only about 10 seconds ahead going into Sector 2.
Oh, and
Wait,
Mike getting ahead
what
of
is he
himself
doing?
here. You gotta open up the doors first.
Sorry, I had to say something to Mike there. He's probably not listening to us, but he's probably in chat. That is hilarious, but I can't laugh too hard because I've done that before in a run as well. Pretty recently, too.
Pretty much everywhere in the game where you can go the wrong direction, everyone's done it once.
Yeah.
And Sci-Fi with that nice setup for the speed jump instead of doing a Shine Spark in that room.
Yeah, that was very clean. It's just a little bit faster than doing what a lot of people do. You know, they jump and then speed boost, but very clean. Pretty difficult to do as well.
Yeah, Mike unfortunately missing the shine break, so
yeah.
having to do the climb of shame.
It's always nice missing the shine break and still getting the block, though. The worst case scenario is you don't hit the block and you gotta go all the way back.
That's one of my signature moves.
That's why I don't go for that strat, because I know I would do that.
It feels so good when you get it, though.
Oh, I'm sure. It's another one of those tricks, like, it looks so clean when done well. Yeah, Sci-Fi making up a lot of time here.
Yeah, and our runner's about to go up against our first boss of the run that does not have an eye door.
Yeah, the box.
And get your cat jams ready because we are going to be jamming.
Oh, yeah.
Although with runners of this caliber, probably not jamming very long.
Yeah, there's two different ways of killing box one here. One of them used to be a hundo strat, but now people just kind of do it at any percent. Mike's going for it here, the quick kill.
Mike getting it. Unfortunately, you need to do the 2 cycle if you wanted to save time over a traditional strat where you let box go to the right. You do want to kill box as far right as possible because it has to walk over to the point where it jumps up from. So the less room you make it walk, the better. Sci-Fi leading it back, and with a more traditional strat, still able to get through very cleanly.
He did get one extra jump there, so it was a little bit slower than Mike's. Sci-Fi missed, it looked like 2 missiles in the early phase, which is the most difficult part of the fight. But only losing about maybe like 2 or 3 seconds isn't a big deal at all.
Yeah, unfortunately leaving a bomb a little bit low too, so...
It's still a good backup because... Oh, sorry, I literally just saw a chair on Mike's screen for a second. But, he's pressing buttons still. But yeah, that box 1 fight can really go poorly if you mess it up, so just losing a couple seconds is not a big deal at all.
Yeah, and then we get the one little cutscene where Adam talks to the Federation to confirm that Samus is in the dark, that they built a whole cutscene for 4 quick lines of dialogue.
It's super mysterious, though.
Honestly, I kind of wish they would have done a little bit more with that.
Yeah, I remember when I played it as a kid, that was one of the parts that really kind of shook me up a little bit. It's like, wait, what's going on here? That part, and then realizing that there's 10 SAXs. Those 2 parts were definitely scariest. Oh, crap.
I'm sure we have so many people in chat who have not played through the story of this game.
Right, yeah, like round 6. Spoilers. Careful. Yeah, now that we're kind of a lot of the lower seeds, or I guess you would say the higher number seeds, have fallen out of the tournament. These next races coming up are going to be very high level fusion. Very excited for that.
Absolutely. So far left in the tournament, we have the top 6 seeds and we have the number 9 seed.
Yep, mikefood as the 9 seed. Kind of showing off what we were talking about earlier of his natural skill ability with ZM. I think when he signed up, his PB was a high 14. Might have even been a 115. And then now he's just still in the tournament and can easily win this race here if he plays well enough.
Yeah, I remember there being a bit of a rivalry going between, I think it was Mike and Barya for a bit.
Yep. Barya winning that first race in the tournament, but then Mike getting his revenge by bopping Barya on the leaderboards.
And now Mike coming up to our second SAX encounter. And let's see what type of skip he goes for here. There are a few different ways to do it.
Yeah, it's pretty tough too. Getting that SAX skip, especially the one that you do the D boost with that you stay in Morph Ball for.
Yeah,
I think
the
Mike
safe one is you just pop up here, shoot it. Exactly what Mike is doing. You just pop up, shoot it, run past.
Very safe.
I know there's a cool one where you let it freeze you on the crumble blocks and frozen Samus falls down through them.
Yeah, that one's cool. Sadly, though, it only saves about 1.5 seconds, so it's typically not really worth going for unless you know you're gonna do it successfully with the risk of dying.
Yeah, that's something you go for when you're challenging for record. I say that like anyone has tried to contest Scotty's record.
True, good point. Alright, Megacore here, we're looking for a 4-shot.
And Mike getting the 4-shot. I don't think that was a double, though.
Yeah, it was at a good point. It was not. You saw the muscle taking off there.
Yeah, 2 singles and a double.
Yep. Not too shabby.
It looks like Sci-Fi getting the exact fight that you want there. So gonna be able to pick up a little bit of time on Mike here.
Oh, you missed the first double. Both of them had like a really good setup with the core being kind of high up.
Yeah.
He
did catch the sweet spot though.
Yes. Luckily in this fight, the sweet spot's pretty easy because it's just kind of in that spot in the middle of that platform. It's easy to eyeball it out.
And now our runner's going into my least favorite part of the run, getting out of Sector 6 where all of the puffers conspire to get in the way.
Yes.
And I just did a quick time check and Sci-Fi 19 seconds behind Mike now.
Catching up.
Picking up a little bit of time.
Yeah, a lot of people are not a big fan of this section because, as you said, the puffers move in a random pattern, Mike getting hit there. The little worm thingies, I don't know their name, they can move either way. Yeah, it's pretty annoying for sure.
Yeah, and the puffers, whenever you hit them, they leave behind more damaging materials, so even if you kill them, they can still hit you from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
Both of our runners picking up some missiles on the way out.
Like getting that Shine Spark there. That Shine Spark is insanely tight. I don't know the frame window, I think it's like 3. But yeah, that's... Only saves about... Oh, Sci-Fi hits it too! Very well done. Saves about 0.5 second, but it's very swag.
You know, I didn't even know that one existed.
It's so... Because when it's like... I think it's 3 frames, but you have to get a perfect shot cancel on from the other room to start it. So yeah, it's very tough. If you don't get a good enough shot cancel, then it's either impossible or 1 frame. It could be more or less frames, but I know it's very, very tight.
Yeah, and that I think really sums up what speedrunning this game is all about. It's not about the big flashy stuff, it's about all of just the really small tech that adds up over the course of a run.
Yeah, a lot of rooms in the run itself. And even just 0.5 second in one room, multiply that by, 100, definitely adds up to be a lot.
Yeah, the benefit of having pretty simple game mechanics. So because it's simple mechanics and not a ton of RNG aside from getting into bosses and on boss patterns. It comes down to just high-level execution.
Yeah, people have their opinions on the RNG with Metroid Fusion. I personally like it because it really kind of tests your grit, right? When you're on one of those runs that has really good RNG, you have to play well or you're just throwing that RNG away, right? So it's just a neat aspect of the speedrun, in my opinion. But of course, it can definitely get annoying when you get screwed over by the RNG and have to reset because of it.
Yeah, admittedly, my other speed game is Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy Color, so the RNG in this is nothing compared to that.
It's so high! I love that game.
It is a really fun run.
Funny, I loved that game so much as a kid. I even played it about like 2 years ago. But I didn't even think about it having a speed run. I know about
just
the
came out on
traditional
Switch
Pokemon.
Online too.
Really?
Yep,
I
it
didn't know.
just dropped and is legal for speedruns.
That's pretty pog.
But I guess we should probably talk about Metroid Fusion here.
Yeah, I heard they released some games. I just didn't even notice it. But yeah, probably important. Sector 5 here. The waivers are annoying, but not annoying like the puffers in Sector 6. But yeah, we gotta kind of see our runners react to the waiver patterns. None of them getting trolled, which is nice.
And Sector 5, the one sector in the any percent category that we come into 3 times. And not a whole lot going on in the first couple of visits, so...
Yep. We're really just picking up ice missiles here, which is a quote-unquote upgrade to our missiles. We won't be one-shotting things anymore, sadly, but they will have more utility where we can freeze them. This is the part of the run I kind of say we're just like running errands for Adam, where we're picking up some upgrades, you know, saving or letting out the animals, and not too many boss fights, but still some really, really interesting movement, especially in emergency as well. That definitely still makes the mid-game here very interesting. This game like to save all the bosses for the, or most of the bosses for the end of the run. Speaking of which, as we're coming up to emergency, I'm going to take my guess here and say Mike's going to get a 422, and Sci-Fi's going to get a 435.
You know what? I was actually going to say 435 for Sci-Fi, but since you went there, I'll say 433 for Sci-Fi. I think Mike will get a 429.
Okay.
Chat, drop your guesses if you got them.
If Mike actually gets a 422, I'm going to be so sad. Sorry, Mike. I'm just giving that prediction so the race will be close, that's all. Not that I think it'll happen. It is a very tough section because there's going to be, you'll see a lot of very tight movement, and then right at the end there's the eye door for the core, and then we're looking to get a double missile on the charge core, or not charge core, excuse me, the wide beam core, and that's going to end up being a lot of the time save there if you get good RNG on the eye door and not miss either of those doubles.
I think Emergency also has some of the most satisfying movement to watch in the game as well. And
Definitely.
easily the best portion of the game for using the ice missiles. We get to do a lot of cool stuff with freezing enemies or timing when our missiles are going so that we can get them out of our way.
And Big Room especially, with like the three stretchy, excuse me, and the lava guys, and that one, there's, as you said, if you do it perfectly, it's super satisfying to see.
And the name of the game there is shoot the missiles with the right timing so that the bottom stretchy dies fast enough to not stop your vertical momentum.
Even that room we just
Mike
saw
with a misfire there.
That's a bummer.
Subbing is still on a stretchy.
I was just trying to I was just about to compliment Mike there, but then he interrupted me. But you saw Sci-Fi do it just there too. Both of them, even just with the quick fall there, that's just another one of the optimizations in Emergency. It's like, without me even saying it, you probably wouldn't have even noticed it, but that's just one of the many small optimizations in this section here. Mike not getting the wall jump quite right there, so we got hit by the stretchy. And missing the missile there, so Sci-Fi's gonna make up some time here. Most likely.
Only 2 beams. You know, the last few races I've seen have been really disproving the theory that you either get 0 or 3 there.
Yeah, it was really, that was the case for the earlier rounds, but yeah.
Mike missing one of the doubles, and you might have this one actually, Ron.
Oh! No, I think it's gonna be a 23 actually.
That was a 22.
What? I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
Mike, Ron, are you watching the spoilers here?
I guess so. I'm just reading into the future. And then Sci-Fi with the 432, not too shabby. That is so funny.
Ron with the call.
I guess so. I was really just doing it to troll Mike, but I guess he's trolling himself at this point. So yeah, what was that? I mean, Sci-Fi made up like just about like 10 seconds there, so it's getting close here. It's hard to see. I think Mike is really like slowly getting ahead, just with really, really good movement. But then he'll make a mistake here and there, and that'll give Sci-Fi the chance to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, and that's just the nature of a race when you're doing a no reset here.
Yeah. Because even Sector 2, it looked like, in Sector 4, it looked like they were very close, but like Mike literally doing those 2 sectors about 20 seconds faster than Sci-Fi. Just kind of proves to show that clean movement is very important in this game. I didn't see any like noticeable mistake from Sci-Fi. Ooh, but they're missing the stretchy. That's gonna cost you a little bit of time.
Yeah, also has to be careful down to 41 health.
Oh, that's a very good point there, Autumn. I guess he didn't pick up the Zazabi E-Tank. I didn't even realize that. So we gotta be very careful here. Knowing Sci-Fi, I think they might refill. We'll have to see.
Yeah, if nothing else, I don't think we'll be seeing him go for impossible strat.
That's a good point, yeah. That's the only really scary part, come to think of it, in this next section.
Yeah, we have to go free the animals that SM runners are very fond of.
Oh yeah. Every SM speedrunner loves the animals, as we know.
Do you know if Mike goes for impossible strat, which
He does.
honestly is the worst named strat in this game at this point because everyone just nails it.
Yeah, back in the day they thought up the name, and then now just everybody does it. He does go for it, yes.
I've taken to calling it actual meat strat at this point. Because it is
That's a
not
good name.
impossible.
Ooh, Sci-Fi with a little bit of a weird elevator there. Usually Sci-Fi is the one teaching me strats, but you can do a little short hop there. Right before the elevation goes up for the platform. And just it's like perfect where you can just hit A and then hit up and take that elevator up really quick.
And Mike opting to go for a more traditional strat here, not risking the impossible.
I guess it is impossible. Yeah, usually in his PB attempts he goes for it, but I guess he wants to just keep his lead. He doesn't want to, because when you miss, like, it only saves 2 seconds, and when you miss it, you're losing about 10 seconds. So
looks like he was relieved to get that spark. And where are these Anakuns at?
Where is Mike at? He just left. Okay, there, here he comes back.
I think he was going to look for the animals.
I think that's exactly what was going on. They were taking so long, Mike had to be like, no, they must be in my room somewhere. He gone. Oh, sci-fi. He had really fast two come out there,
Yeah,
but then the third one took forever.
yeah, I was about to say it looked like he was getting really good RNG, and then fusion gonna fusion.
That's just how it goes. That's the Actually, the classic for me is one comes out and then the two will pop out like right at the end. But that's another one that happens quite a bit. Like going for a zigzag strat there, interestingly enough, or you could just hold right and just fall down.
You know, do you think Bad Animals RNG in here is the animals getting their revenge on all the Super Metroid runners?
I mean, this is technically the sequel, Metroid 3. Or 4. Wait, 4. Oh my god. But I don't know. Probably. I'd say yeah. I know Fusion. Or I know Metroid.
Fission, good game.
There you go, yeah. Metroid Powerful. That's the name of the antagonist, I believe, is Metroid. Sci-fi still at 41 HP. When you mentioned it earlier, I'm just kind of thinking, like, there's really no place to refill until after the Sax encounter where you get that red X, so... Sci-fi should be fine, he's a fantastic runner, but a little scary here.
Yeah, fortunately we have the wide beam, and charged wide beam will take care of all but the worst possible pattern she could find in Sector 5 here.
Yeah, good point. And yeah, Sector 5, there's really nothing. I mean, even the rivers, I don't even think they do. I think they do, what, like 20 damage or something?
Yeah, we're at the point where we have the best looking suit in the Metroid franchise, and the enemy damage has not yet scaled up to basically pretend that we didn't get an armor upgrade.
Pretty much, but as you said, it's still a beautiful suit, so at least we got to get the cosmetic, you know. Nice cosmetics. Yeah, very well done there, Mike, getting that Shine Spark strat. Sci-fi going for the more traditional run through and kill the enemies.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I learned that the spark is not faster.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and maybe it is a little faster, but I don't even know personally. I've never really gone for it or looked into it.
I want to say optimally it loses a quarter of a second. I could be wrong on that.
That's so funny.
I know it does lose time.
Well, the thing about Shine Sparking, it always looks really fast, but you have to press down and lose all your momentum, and then there's the animation of you starting the spark, ending the spark, and the bonk, right? So you're always going to have that time loss from every single Shine. So even though it looks really fast, a lot of times it's actually not. And yeah, Sci-Fi's doing totally fine now.
Yeah, and both runners very clean through the SAX chase, probably the least threatening one in the speed run.
It is. I still have died there, but it is very easy.
I have too. I've definitely gotten clipped in the foot on my way through the door.
Yeah, there was we were doing the weekly races, and there was a point in time where I was like, I didn't die for a time, and then that was how I got my first death in a while. Was that stupid SAX counter? Yeah.
Metroid Fusion has no shortage of ways that you can die in the run.
And that's what I was literally about to say. There are a lot of places where you think you're safe, but you're really not. Especially with the SAX and that beam with the missile combo that can just deal so much damage.
Looks like we don't have a bracket command, so I will do my best spot impersonation.
Awesome. I was just about to say something about that, so awesome. There, Mike, as we saw Mike do the little short hop I was talking about earlier there. Very well done. Here we're kind of entering kind of the end of the mid-game here.
Finding some chicken wings in the freezer.
There you go, yeah. Frozen chicken wings, and then they crumble.
Yeah, I think those ones might be a little past their prime.
Yeah. Yeah, this is when the game... Ooh, Mike getting ultra trolled there. I don't know if that was being trolled or just didn't charge fast enough, but that was definitely a bummer getting spit on there and flipping into those enemies.
Mike doing the traditional timing of bouncing off that platform 2 platforms up from the ground to lay the power bomb. That way, you know it's going to go off in time to hit the blocks. A lot of runners have been weaving between the platforms and not doing the bounce more recently. One of the strats that came out of Rando, of all things.
Yeah, that's a really cool looking strat too. Very tough to do. I've tried, or haven't really tried learning it, but I've tried just doing it a few times. So very, very tough. Because weaving in and out in Morph Ball is pretty easy for me. But yeah, the strat you were talking about, quite difficult. Here we go into the, I guess what would you call this? The web room. Mike doing an excellent job.
And Mike opting to save some frames there, jumping over the E-Tank. He does not need more health. He's feeling good about how he's playing. Not going far enough to shoot the floor. Pirate being like, what are you doing here?
That's something I haven't seen in a while. That's not supposed to happen.
Sci-Fi thinking twice, deciding to step back to pick up that energy tank, wanting a little bit of safety as we're coming up on one of the hardest bosses in the run, and one of the worst RNG gauntlets.
Yes. Yakuza definitely has the RNG where it can give us anywhere from 1 to 4 rounds. Fortunately, we can jump into, I guess, what would you call it, the arms of Yakuza and kind of wiggle our way out to make it go by a little bit faster.
I'm not sure if Mike got enough hits on there to be able to get a 1 round.
Color. You might be right.
No, he got it.
Yeah, if you spam enough, you'll be fine. That's a 1 round from Mike, so very, very well done. Practicing his RNG, I'm guessing.
Mike taking some damage here on phase 2.
Yeah, unfortunate. Optimally, we want to hit that, hit Yakuza's mouth every single time it opens, and Mike gets some quite a few hits there. But still, you know, reasonable.
And if you get really good, you can get doubles on those as well.
Sci-Fi's fight was amazing. He just made up so much time from Mike there. And Mike got a 1 round. Mike had a 1 round too.
Yeah,
wow,
I'm gonna have to check the VOD because I blinked.
I didn't see if he got any doubles, but I saw he was just nailing those hits every single time. That's what you want to see. That was amazing.
Yeah, now we've got the auxiliary power on. Time to go into the Vine Room. Okay, 46 through that door transition.
Yeah, there's a couple
And
ways.
I am impressed with how close we are here, and Sci-Fi has cut the lead to about 10.5 seconds.
Nice, very nice. That was the Yakuza fight, and also the scary port. Okay, Mike's fine. Both of these runners, gosh, that strat in the Vine Room is super hard, where you R-shoot and just kind of morph through that tunnel there. Both of them nailing it perfectly. I've tried to implement that into my runs and just got frustrated with it, so just don't bother for it anymore.
Yeah,
I just said, maybe next time.
And Sci-Fi on a mission here.
You know what? I didn't really mention this because I just forgot. But Sci-Fi notoriously has a really, really, really good late game. And Mike's late game is actually totally fine, but I would call his early game probably his strongest part of his game, just from looking at his splits. But yeah, Sci-Fi he's so good in late game. Especially his golds in lower 4, so diffusion split, and his gold for the last split are top tier. Mike is unhappy.
And both runners on the plasma core at the same time now.
Mike's doing just fine. Keeping the lead with in front of Sci-Fi is no easy task.
You say as they're on the same text box at the same time.
Wow.
That's got to be down to maybe 3 seconds of difference.
I didn't see the beams from Mike and Sci-Fi. I was just watching the
Oh
fight
no,
there.
they're 2 seconds apart now.
This is gonna
I
be
love
tough
the
for
amount
Mike.
of door transitions we have here. It makes it really easy to find a way to count.
Yep. Both of them doing that spark perfectly. Not getting the D-boost, but that's not a big deal. Yeah, we'll really see in these last few. I mean, Nightmare I think they'll be pretty even, but in lower 4, you'll see Sci-Fi zoom in.
I also just noticed that Mike is actually running 50 missiles.
Yes. I personally prefer 45, but Mike's always done 50. That's how he likes to do the game, and to each their own, right?
I mean, it definitely makes... It's a little bit slower, but it makes the Nettery fight just completely brainless.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to worry about counting charge shots, you just mash.
Yep. And with 45, the optimal Notori fight can be a little difficult, so understandable. Because optimally, you want to end the fight with 0 missiles, and so you don't want to get hit once during the fight. So that way, when you shoot the core X, it'll just spawn a million green X's. So our final trip to Sector 5, third and final trip. We'll see a,
And Sci-Fi taking over the lead.
Oh, Mike got hit from the... That's a bummer.
Yeah, Mike actually grabbed onto one of the ladders.
Okay, I'm done. That Shine Spark was really cool.
Yeah, that must be some new tech.
That is very unfortunate for Mike. It doesn't really lose that much time, but it's always just... It sucks missing that Shine Spark. Because as I mentioned with my Wii, that Shine Spark is very fun and very fast. Going through 6 rooms, I believe.
Yeah, I still am always pulling to see the Space Boost strap, but I'm also notorious for just loving to see every Space Boost I possibly can.
Same. Whenever anybody goes for Space Boost, I'm happy. I say it like it's easy or something.
And Mike running up against RNG boss.
Yes, I believe Sci-Fi got 0 beams there, and Mike getting screwed over completely with 3 beams. It could be worse, but 3 beams you do not
I
want
think
to see.
Sci-Fi got 1.
Oh, he might have gotten 1. I might have just missed it. Although Sci-Fi with a little bit of trouble here on Nightmares, so ideally you want to get your first round the same every time, so there's not really any RNG with this fight, but Sci-Fi messing up there.
Mike showing up the right positioning there.
Exactly. Yeah, Mike got it. Had the ideal.
Sci-Fi gets the kill, but far to the left of the room, so has to wait for Nightmare to move back to the right. So that's a way for Mike now to start eating into the lead.
Yep.
And getting 2 doubles already. Very clean. Triple double.
Very nice.
Both of these runners making it look easy.
The Nightmare fight, I will admit, the triple double is a little bit easier. Not free by any means, but it's a little bit easier because the core always spawns in the same spot in the middle of the room. Whereas other bosses, their core spawns wherever they die from. But yeah, with ice missiles, they're still very difficult to hit all 3 of those back to back to back. Let's see if Sci-Fi keeps this space boost all the way down to the bottom of the room. He's done that in one of his races already. Ah, he missed it. Very difficult strat there. Sci-Fi kind of
Mike going a little bit further in, and I see what you mean about Sci-Fi in lower 4 though.
Yeah, he had a little bit of trouble there in that one room, but just still zooming away. Because a lot of these rooms in lower 4 are extremely difficult to do perfectly. There's that first room, as I mentioned, and then this room that Mike just is kind of in right now. And then there's a room where there's a, what are they called, like mini Dragon? That's just right in your way, and it has this little tiny hitbox that you can freeze, but yeah, all those rooms extremely difficult.
Absolutely, and especially for anyone just starting out, also very easy to take deaths in this part of the game.
Definitely. Mike looking like he's chugging a specific beverage. Looks like a bottled water to me, though. Or a can of water, maybe.
Hydration is important.
Definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
Sci-Fi getting trolled a bit by the hermit crab here.
Yeah. Losing some time. That might have even... Actually, Mike did pretty well there as well. Versus that crab jumping right over it.
Yeah, clean space boost through the Kago.
Yeah, that was clean, but I mean, I've honestly seen, like, Sci-Fi do this segment, and I'm just like, holy crap, sometimes. It's not a single mistake. But still, as you mentioned, clean, and he's strengthening his lead now. Wait. Mike messed up the space boost. There's no other reason why he would be going back there. That is a... That's happened to every Metroid Fusion speedrunner, I'm sure. But it's something that you hate to see.
Yeah, it happens to me more often than I would like to admit.
The reason why it sucks so bad is it's not very difficult. But then when you miss it, it loses so much time because you got to go back 2 rooms and reset the speed booster. It's just not something you want to happen in a tournament race when you're, you know, whatever reason, 4 or 5 rounds in.
I have a counterpoint though.
Oh.
Skill issue.
True. Heard it here first. Mike, skill issue. Oh man. Just kidding, of course.
That feel where you mention the skill issue and hear your roommate in the other room start laughing about it. Getting the behind the scenes autumn lore here.
Awesome. So,
And
yeah.
our runners are going into Sector 6. We're going to have a rematch with Box, so get your cat jams ready.
Oh yeah, this one, as I mentioned at the beginning of the race, I'm curious to see if Sci-Fi goes for the doubles. I honestly think probably not because of how the importance of winning this race. Both of these runners really want to win here. But if he does, that'll be very hype.
And Sci-Fi just making great work of this.
Yeah, that's a very difficult dodge that he did there on that puffer. Very well done. Yeah, Sci-Fi with a very good Sector 6 here. See Mike as he gets in the room. Didn't get hit by either puffer. That's always good to see. Food with fortunate puffer pattern, but actually the second one kind of told him a little bit there.
Looks like Sci-Fi 2 missiles short here, having to have Xbox open up a third time.
Okay, a little
Still
sketchy there,
very
but
quick.
yeah, still got the kill in the middle there. If he got hit one more time, I'd be a little nervous for him. But ooh, and he misses the missile. But no, he's fine. He's fine.
Ooh, great sweet spot there too.
Yeah, very well done. A little scary, especially with 3 E-tanks. Only 3 E-tanks, but well done there from Sci-Fi.
Yeah, deboosting into that sweet spot at low health. Scary stuff there.
Definitely. Ooh, interesting diffusion shot I saw there from Mike. I didn't even know that was a strat there. Sometimes I get hit by those puffers, so we'll have to take a look at that in the replay. Usually I just kind of blindly shoot up, and if I get hit, I get hit. But he shot a diffusion there and froze the 2 puffers. What? Oh, it's because it was slightly off screen. Okay. That was unfortunate for Mike there. He's going for it! Oh wait, no he's not. I got trolled. As you saw, Mike was on the ceiling there. That's how the double kind of manipulation for the double missile on that core works. One of the hardest things you can even do in this entire game, so it's always cool to see.
And even harder to get it to save time.
True. We did see a runner do it in this tournament, though. See Scotty W, I believe in his last race, got a double. It was quite hype.
See Scotty W, notoriously very good runner.
That's what I've heard. Heard he's kind of good. Here we go into the restricted sector where OMG Metroids.
Metroids in this economy? It's more likely than you think. And now we're in.
Mike looking real happy right now. I haven't seen a headset thrown yet, though, so.
There's still time.
Oh, man. Oh, I can only dream. I can only dream. Headset part 2.
Sci-Fi smooth through lower sector 1.
Oh, yeah.
Also known as We Have Turian at Home.
Roddy mentioned it before. Cam.
Mike, if you're listening to commentary, make it happen.
As you mentioned, yeah, Sci-Fi literally just not taking a hit from anything. Very good gold pirates there. Gold pirates you can kind of optimize where you try and kill the enemy, because you kill the enemies that spawn to the gold pirates and then you kill the gold pirates. You can kill those enemies fairly early and then they'll spawn in. You cannot grab any of the X's, otherwise it'll be slower. Also with a fantastic Ridley fight here, just kind of chasing Ridley down.
Yep, beautiful Ridley fight.
Oh, it didn't get the downward double. That would have just been Chef's Kiss if he got that.
Getting
Damn,
the up double.
Yeah, those diffusion doubles are very tough, so even just getting one is nice. I'm getting a little trolled by the pirates there, even the non-gold pirates, but getting through the rim perfectly fine.
Yeah, and your point about Sci-Fi having a really strong late game is really playing out here. Mike now seeing those chicken wings coming back to life and getting ready for the loudest sound in the universe. And we will keep his audio off so that we're not subjecting chat to that twice.
Ridley sure does like to yell at people, I guess. Well, I guess it's Samus. We've never really seen Ridley yell at anybody else besides Samus.
He's Scrim.
Unfortunate, both of them getting the Ridley kill pretty low, making the triple-double essentially impossible, but still really good fights from both runners. Sci-Fi was textbook perfect, but Mike doing just perfectly fine there. I believe that was the 12th shot there.
Yeah, you watch runners like this do the Ridley fight, and you think, oh, that fight's not that bad, and then you try fighting it yourself.
Especially the way Sci-Fi did it there, Scotty does it, Monkey does it, where you're chasing it down. That one is because it's just perfect shot after perfect shot, letting go a charge right when it becomes fully charged. It's very cool to see. Because if you mess it up, I believe Ridley will start kind of turning around and stuff, and the strat won't work. I believe. I don't really go for that strat myself. I go for an easier one, but that's what I've seen at least. Mike, indeed, very entertaining. We see some smiles from Mike. That's always good to see.
Yeah, looks like he's having a good time. And while we are going into the last...
Wait, what just happened? I just saw Mike stop moving. I didn't even know what happened there.
I got nothing.
Me neither. I just heard you stop talking, and then I look at Mike. He's just doing nothing.
Yeah, that took away whatever I was trying to say. Seeing Mike dead stop just...
in a tournament race. But look at that climb. Oh my god. This guy is just so good at the game, but also just hilarious at the same time.
And everyone definitely go give both of these runners a follow. Great runners. And obviously we've been watching Mike's cam here, having a good time.
Yep. Mike knows how to party.
Let's see if the bot likes me today. It does not.
Ah, bummer. Usually that works. But yeah, as you mentioned, both of these runners, very, very good. Sci-Fi, always improving. Phenomenal runner. Great guy as well. Always giving myself tips, other runners tips in their streams. And then as we see from Mike, just from this race, like I don't even need to say anything. Obviously, you gotta follow him.
Yeah, and this isn't even his main game.
Exactly. Yeah, after this race, maybe don't expect Mike to be playing too much more Fusion in the foreseeable future. But you never know. Never say never, right?
Monkey in chat wanting to talk about how Mike has absolutely lost it.
I got nothing. It's Autumn said. It's just laughter is all I have. Oh man. Yeah, Sci-Fi definitely
Four-shot is
his
missed.
lead. Yeah, 4-shot is indeed impossible. Otherwise, Sci-Fi would have gotten it there.
There's your controller thrower on.
Yes. I think I'm like 3 seconds behind. So you said it, and I look, and then it just happened.
Propulsion sequence activated.
That was amazing. Alright, Sci-Fi with the propulsion sequence. It has been activated.
Are you sure he's not just trying to escape whatever's going on in this commentary?
Oh man, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. I really do. I just was not expecting that to just happen. But
Wait, what?
uh-oh. Wait, Mike looks confused too, though. I don't think that was intentional. He might have soft reset his... I think he might have soft reset it on accident.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Well, I mean, judging by his reaction, I do not think it was on purpose.
Oh no. I think he hates to see it most of all.
I no. Oh no, Mike.
I think this
no.
calls for a train of not like this.
Oh, man. Not like this. Not like this. Yeah, that was unfortunate. To say the least. This has been a very hype race. Honestly, Mike played perfectly fine there. Had some mistakes, but as we saw, Sci-Fi, his late game was absolutely phenomenal. That's where he caught up with Mike and surpassed him as well. Finishing the run, GG, Sci-Fi Gemini.
Yeah, Sci-Fi gonna finish with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 27 seconds.
Here comes the interview, though. Here we go! We gotta get Sci-Fi and Mike in here, that's for sure.
Yep, I have just marked them as finished. I mean,
Awesome.
I guess Mike hasn't technically forfeit, but I'm not sure that we want to.
I don't foresee him starting a run over and finishing. I don't foresee that. He's crushing a can on his head right now!
You know, I feel that.
That's how you finish a Metroid Fusion race right there. That's the can on his head. Oh man, the only thing that can make this better is a headphone breaking incident, but I don't want Mike to mess up his stuff though. I'm not saying that that should happen, I'm just saying that would be the only thing to put the cherry on the cake, or whatever you say it. I can't even think straight right now.
Barria pointing out that he crushed like 6 cans on his head during the run, which.
Alright, so I can explain what happened.
What happened, Mike? What's up?
Oh, I reinstalled BizHawk because sometimes it just gets really choppy. So we downloaded it. And so for some reason the quick load like quick load thing, like when you load a state is P, and I typed shut up to that random guy in chat, so when I hit P it fucking loaded a state.
Oh no! I see what happened. Or I thought you just literally just soft reset, like you hit all the buttons.
No,
That's what I thought
I
happened.
typed shut up to some random guy and it fucking cost me everything.
Oh my god, dude! You have I could not. The end of that race was just too much for me. I'm sorry, but I mean you did pretty good in the early game. I don't know. What are your thoughts on your run, Mike?
Dude,
What's your thoughts on the speed run?
dude, I don't think I cooked. Sorry.
You cooked. Yeah,
I cooked.
You freaking cooked, as he said.
Cooked. Let's see.
So-
I went the wrong way in Sector 3. What else did I do? After what was it? Sector 4, and I was going to Sector 6 to fight Xbox. I went left because I was
I missed that.
I was rushing back,
I missed that one.
and yeah.
GG Sci-Fi with the 114.26.
Alright.
So
GG.
my prediction was that the loser would get like a mid 114.
Hello?
But hello Sci-Fi. But Mike
What
Food with the
happened?
forfeit.
So I typed shut up. So I had to re-download BizHawk because it gets choppy after times. And I thought it cleared all the hotkeys. And for some reason, P is the quick load, and I had to type shut up to somebody in chat, so I loaded a save state.
Oh no!
Hog. At least you weren't like winning. It was at the end of the run. Sci-Fi was ahead by about 30 seconds.
Yeah,
or so.
no, you won.
That is
so it was like,
unfortunate.
whatever.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for sure.
But no, we saved the streak. I haven't gotten a 115 since I've derusted. And that would have been a
you saved
115.
it?
We saved the streak.
That could have honestly probably been a late 114. I
No,
wasn't sure
I was
exactly how far
plus
behind.
I was plus 110 after Ridley, so that would have been a
Oh,
115.
right. You did just quit, you just quit before your climb out of Sector 1.
No,
I forgot
Scotty
about
said
that.
something really funny. So, you know him.
Yeah, he's such a prankster.
He's a little goober.
Unfortunate.
No, that was a good run. GG. I wish
GG.
I wish I would have finished.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
you
still very
put on
entertaining.
A great race, though.
Yeah, as Autumn
It
said.
was a
great
good race. I think where'd it go wrong for me? Oh, we were even until Nightmare, and then I messed up the Shine Spark, and then after that it was kind of just over.
Yeah, you were in the
Very
lead
good.
until Yakuza. Sci-Fi,
Yeah,
did you
no.
get any doubles on Yakuza? I saw it was a really good fight. I didn't know if you got any doubles or not.
It's either 1 double or 0 double. I forgot.
Okay.
That's bad doubles.
Yeah, no.
It
I
was a
think
good.
we were like, a second apart up until like Nightmare Shine Spark, and then I missed the door like back up, and I missed the other back up because I sparked into the wall.
Yeah, Autumn mentioned it was literally like 1 to 2 seconds in Sector 2, like all the way until y'all left Sector 2.
Yeah, it
when
was
that
pretty.
happened.
It was really close until Nightmare, and then he pulled away.
Oh, I gotta take a breather. Got anything, Autumn? I
Where
can't
do you
breathe.
even find words for that race? Sci-Fi, I just have to give you huge props on that late game, though. That was really good to close that out.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have really good late game for sure. What do you think about your next race, Sci-Fi, in the tournament on losers round 5? You're playing Destructor.
Should be a good one.
Well, bye. Bye-bye. I am gonna
You'll be
lose.
fine.
Join up.
No, I believe. I believe.
I believe as
I
well.
believe.
If you tighten up your early game and really that's it. I mean, your mid game a few things, but like if you can get your whole run to where your late game is, you have a chance of definitely winning. I mean, you've already gotten to 113. I don't think your PB's a 113 5x, so I definitely have faith.
I'm still. Eh. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, Destructor is quite good. I understand.
Yeah, yes. I will be destructed.
Be destroyed.
I have heard that's what Destructor does best.
Yeah.
Getting destructed.
So how many? I won't say. I don't know what the contents were, but here's my final question, and then you guys can talk about whatever. Is how many cans did you crush on your head this run, Mike?
Let's see. I think I got like 5 on the floor right now. Yeah.
5 crushed cans. Pog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only thing I was really. Only thing else I wanted to know about that. Race.
I had a fun race. It's been nice to run Fusion again. It's a nice little, it's a fun game.
Chat
Agreed.
definitely has been appreciating getting to see your reactions on your cam here.
Oh, I was hyped.
That was fantastic. And I appreciate you, Mike. You're out of the tournament, but all 3 of your races have been great. I mean, you had the little rivalry with Beria, and then your race with Shmade was super crazy. Like it was.
The Shmade race was awesome.
And then you had this race. So yeah, I mean, even though you're out of the tournament, very well done. I'm super happy you joined the tournament, and
I had a lot of fun. And best of luck to Sci-Fi. It'll be beat Des.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout outs to these runners, and that's going to be it for me. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and just looking ahead at the schedule real quick, I pulled this up. On Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we've got our winners finals match between C-Scott-EW and Monkey SMB.
Monkey will win.
Come see if we finally see someone take a race against Scotty.
Monkey will.
Also on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, we have Bench Juice versus FPiz.
I think even in our weekly races, Scotty has never lost a race. Besides, I think he died like once or something. But he hasn't even lost a race. And besides the tournament. But Monkey definitely has he has a chance, I'll say.
See, Scotty W is pretty good at Metroid Fusion, I will say.
Good. pretty good indeed. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for watching, everybody. And thank you, Autumn, for being an awesome commentator as well. I will see y'all later.
Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next mission.
Bye bye.